I think the biggest problem within modern Dragon Ball is something that a lot of people don't even mention or don't even think to talk about. And I think it's so rooted within Dragon Ball that so many people don't even notice that it is a actual problem. When I think this is probably the main reason why things like Dragon Ball Super feel so different. Now, I don't know how many of you have read Dragon Ball from beginning to end, but if you have, you know to its core that Dragon Ball is the Goku show, especially the original. A lot of misconceptions and misinformation has come up a lot when it comes to how Dragon Ball is written, mainly because of how long the series has been in the limelight on the internet. But if you read the original Dragon Ball, a lot of people say, oh, that was back when every single character mattered. That was back when even the Earthlings were able to catch up with Goku. But if you really read the manga, Goku was already surpassing a lot of them, and he was kind of in a league of his own by the original Dragon Ball. Now, Goku long surpassed literally everyone in the cast by the time the Red Ribbon Army arc started. So I feel like a lot of those complaints aren't really valid, especially with how a lot of the fights within original Dragon Ball are kind of just Goku washing his opponents. His rematch with Tao Pai Pai, his rematch against Tambourine. A lot of the fights back then was really just Goku completely and utterly washing the opponents that he ended up facing. But I think this is fine because at the end of the day, the original Dragon Ball was about Goku, and it excelled at making it about specifically Goku. And then that's when Dragon Ball Z started, or in the manga, it was still called Dragon Ball. However, after the 23rd martial arts tournament, I think this really changes. I think even at the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament is where it really changes. And I think Goku versus Piccolo Jr. is probably the most even fight that Dragon Ball had up until that point, besides like the King Piccolo fight. So that's where I think a lot of the writing really begins to change. Once quote unquote Dragon Ball Z started, that's when Goku really started to not completely wash his opponents. The first opponent in Dragon Ball Z, Goku had to team up with Piccolo just to stand even the slightest chance, and they couldn't even get a single scratch off Raditz. Gohan, as a 4-year-old, did more damage to Raditz than both Goku and Piccolo did combined throughout their entire fight. But even despite all this, even despite these enemies getting stronger and Goku not being able to completely wash them, the dynamic of the writing was Goku was always the strongest. Even though there was a lot more cast members training and getting stronger, Goku was always a long while ahead of them, which is what made these fights interesting. If you look at every single final fight within these arcs, the one against Vegeta, the one against Frieza, the one against Cell, everyone is just waiting for Goku because Goku is supposed to be, he's the main character. He's supposed to be the one that is way stronger than everyone else. And what made a lot of these fights interesting, even though Goku being as strong as he is, once he shows up, he isn't able to defeat these main villains. In the Saiyan Saga, Krillin was gassing up Goku for so long to the point where they stopped the battle for 3 hours just to wait for Goku to show up. And just for Goku to finally show up and not even be able to beat Vegeta by himself, that's where a lot of the tension comes from. When Goku goes all out against Frieza and he's not even able to defeat him until he turns into a Super Saiyan, that's where the tension comes from. When Goku goes against Cell and he fights full power and he has to give up because he can't even take him on, that's where the tension comes from, because Goku is supposed to be, he's supposed to be the end all be all. The way the story is set up, Dragon Ball's fighting structure is very top heavy, where Goku's on top and everyone else is at the bottom. And the thing about these fights is that the people at the bottom give Goku that little push over the edge to win, but it's never really Goku himself. If you look at the Vegeta fight, Goku would have lost if it wasn't for Krillin, Gohan, and Yajirobe. It wasn't because those three were stronger, but they gave that just that little push, that little edge to beat Vegeta. And even then, they were completely struggling. By the time that fight was finished, they were all bloodied up on the floor. The first half of the Frieza fight before Goku goes Super Saiyan, Goku would not have thrown that Spirit Bomb at Frieza if it wasn't for the little push that Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan gave to allow Goku to throw the Spirit Bomb on Frieza. If they weren't there, Goku would not have won. If the cast gives that little push for Goku to win these fights. It is never truly Goku, but we all know that Goku is the strongest out of all of them. And that dynamic is what gives the Cell Saga its big twist when Goku gives up, because no one is supposed to be on Goku's level. So the fact that Goku gives up, technically, the story should be over. And that's what gives the twist of him saying Gohan surpassed him that much more power, because we're not supposed to be used to Goku not defeating the bad guy. And I think this top-heavy dynamic of Goku being the strongest out of everyone is completely messed up by having Vegeta in the picture. The fact that there is someone as strong as Goku really ruins the top-heavy dynamic that Dragon Ball always had. Because if Goku can't beat him, Vegeta's right there. That's what really ruined the tension in Resurrection of F, for example. Because Goku failed, Vegeta was right there. And even if Vegeta failed, Beerus and Whis were in the back ready to wipe Frieza off the map. That's what really killed the tension within that movie, and that's what really kills the tension within a lot of the other arcs as well. Because Dragon Ball is not built to have two Gokus. It's supposed to just be Goku. It's supposed to just be that one strongest guy, and then everyone else is there for support. Having two people at the top really ruins the top-heavy dynamic that Dragon Ball always had. I don't think people realize that was the reason, but it does bother people. As it says, again, you definitely heard the complaint of people saying, oh, it's just a Goku and Vegeta show. And I think this is the main problem that Dragon Ball Super has, that a lot of people's main problem with it is. However, I don't think a lot of people were able to put their finger on it. So many of the earlier arcs, especially in Dragon Ball Super, got their tension completely wiped out of them because of the fact that Vegeta is on par with Goku. For example, the Universe 6v7 tournament, I don't know about you guys, but I did not feel even the slightest hint of tension throughout that entire arc. Because yeah, it was very shocking when Goku lost to Frost, but you have someone just as strong as Goku right behind him, ready to take down the rest of the team. It really does kill a lot of regular tension that Dragon Ball usually builds up. And this is not to say that Dragon Ball should stick with the same top-heavy formula of Goku always being the strongest. Dragon Ball can always try to redefine itself, as it tried to with Gohan, trying to make Gohan the main lead. However, Toriyama didn't feel like Gohan fit that role. Dragon Ball could try to redefine itself in having Goku and Vegeta be the two basically main characters of the story. However, I don't think that what they're going for right now really succeeds much at all, because it is still written in that top-heavy dynamic, except Vegeta is just there. Dragon Ball GT did not have this problem because Goku was still by far the strongest in most scenarios that he was in. Where he was fighting, Goku was the strongest within the cast. When he was traveling within space, he was with Pan and Trunks, who weren't even touching Goku's max power. But even when the other characters would be introduced, Goku was still a long while ahead of them. And Dragon Ball GT doesn't give nearly the same amount of screen time to the side characters as Dragon Ball Super does. Dragon Ball Super, Vegeta is always there. However, it's still written in the top-heavy format of Goku always being the strongest. And it just makes a lot of people who are Vegeta fans feel like they're being cucked over and over and over again. Because Vegeta is gassed up to be this second Goku. However, because they are still writing it like Goku is always the strongest, Goku's always the one to get the upper hand. Goku's always the one to be the strongest, to get the new transformations. And it doesn't work much at all when you have someone that's always consistently portrayed to be at the same level as the person that's on the top. One of the biggest examples of this is in the Goku Black arc, where both Vegeta and Trunks do a Gallic Gun together, and they do absolutely nothing to merge Zamasu, only for Goku to have the exact same beam struggle, if I'm not wrong, in the exact same episode or the exact episode after. And Goku doing so much better than Vegeta and Trunks combined to the point where he literally corrupts Fusion Zamasu's body by himself. I do like this scene because Goku literally breaking his arms through the Kamehameha is so cold, but it doesn't make any sense at all, and it really just pisses off people who like Vegeta, Because why are we constantly pushing Goku and Vegeta being the two strongest, but they're still trying to have, again, the top heavy dynamic of Goku being the one, being him, being like the strongest out of all of them, but Vegeta is still being pushed like, oh, Vegeta's there too. It just really feels like they're dragging us on, but they're not giving us any payoff, which is why I think they should just drop Vegeta trying to catch up to Goku altogether, because I don't think Dragon Ball's writing allows for there to be two Gokus, quote unquote. This is why it feels so weird when Goku and Vegeta were literally training together before the Universe 6v7 tournament, yet Goku just does better against Hit compared to Vegeta. Or in the Tournament of Power, where Goku and Vegeta did basically the same amount of training, only for Goku to just get that much stronger than Vegeta when they are supposed to be quote-unquote rivals and quote-unquote equals. The manga, it's even worse case, where Goku in the Goku Black arc is just boxing with fused Zamasu, while Vegeta's just standing there doing nothing when they go through the exact same training. The way this feels like, it's like if in Naruto Shippuden, Naruto kept getting all these boosts, all these power-ups, while Sasuke kind of just ends up getting nothing. The main thing that a lot of people love about the dynamic between Naruto and Sasuke and Shippuden is that everything that Naruto went through, Sasuke got the same thing. Every power boost that Naruto went through, Sasuke got the same thing. Their two parallel paths are very, very enticing to watch through, and neither of them have a absurd leg up over another for no reason. Of course, if you look through this within a power scaling lens, you could be like, well, after the pain fight, Naruto is 10 times stronger than Sasuke. Like, yeah, but if you're just reading the series casually, you don't really see that, to be honest. And that's what I really enjoy about that dynamic. And I think Dragon Ball Super so severely lacks that. In the Granola arc, this problem is rectified a bit by having Goku and Vegeta actually one-up each other throughout the arc, and it's actually very entertaining, as Ultra Ego actually feels like it's on par with Ultra Instinct. However, the Moral arc doesn't do this, as Vegeta is once again given all this time for his development, only for him to be pushed to the sidelines with the rest of the side characters and aid Goku for that final push. It's written in the same top-heavy format that Dragon Ball has always been in, but again, the series is going to say that, oh, Vegeta and Goku are great equals, they are fantastic rivals, and it's always saying something about Vegeta being strong, but never giving evidence for it. I'm not asking for Vegeta to take up a main villain kill or anything. I actually think the Metal Cooler movie handles that dynamic quite well, even the Buu Saga, where Vegeta created the whole Spirit Bomb plan by himself. Just have Vegeta heavily assist with the win and not have his support role feel like he's infinitely weaker than Goku. The Moral arc relegates him to Spirit Bomb food, and after the performance Mastered UI Goku showed towards Moro compared to SSB Vegeta, are you really gonna look at me straight in the face and tell me that they are near each other's level? Because you're lying. Now, you could say that this was done the same in Dragon Ball Z, where Vegeta was given a lot of time to show his training. However, he was never up better than Goku. However, the difference is Vegeta is supposed to be in the wrong in Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta is literally a bad person until the last 10 chapters of the manga. And because of this, he is supposed to be in the wrong. That's why even though he's flaunted on multiple occasions to be shown to be better than Goku, he is never fully better than him because he's in the wrong, which is what gives his "you are number one" speech so much weight. He said it himself in that speech that he was fighting for the wrong purpose the entire time we've been seeing him throughout the series. The difference now is that Vegeta already progressed past that, but it's still being written in the same way where he's supposed to be wrong, and he keeps getting overshadowed by Goku again and again and again. Except the main reason of Vegeta getting surpassed constantly by Goku is now gone. So it's like, why is this continuously happening? The reason why I'm being so strict about this and why Vegeta really needs to be fixed is because his presence alone already kills off the rest of the side characters. If you have two Gokus, there's no reason to bring in all these other characters like Gohan and Piccolo. That's why even though Dragon Ball Superhero brought all these characters to Goku's level, I'm still rather doubtful that these side characters are even going to get an increased role within these later arcs, because what's the point of bringing all of them together when they can just get Vegeta, who is stronger than all of them and is on a similar plateau as Goku, which again is why Vegeta is the biggest problem of Dragon Ball. He kills off the rest of the side characters as well. Like, for example, in the Goku Black arc, if Vegeta was not nearly as strong as Goku, it would make way more sense for other characters to be involved. Because if Goku goes down, it would make no sense for an extremely weaker Vegeta to be the only person there to ally Goku. It'd make more sense for people like Gohan and Piccolo and even Gotenks to come into the future with them. But with Vegeta literally being as strong as Goku, what's the point of bringing someone as weak as Gohan if Goku and Vegeta can't do anything? You might as well just bring Vegeta with Goku on all these arcs and continuously push their rivalry instead of shoving in all these side characters to get sidelined. That's why Vegeta, I think, is the biggest problem that Dragon Ball has. Vegeta just being the second Goku ruins even the best Goku moments. Goku is the main character, so a lot of Goku's best moments are some of the best moments in Dragon Ball, but Vegeta's presence ruins even those because it doesn't make sense for these Goku moments to still be happening with Vegeta around. Vegeta kind of just shoots Dragon Ball's entire writing scheme in the foot by him just being there. But at the end of the day, I think Vegeta's presence in the way that Dragon Ball is written right now really hurts the series more than benefits it. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is definitely a hot take since Vegeta is like the most popular character in Dragon Ball other than Goku, but let me know what you guys think. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, it's like you got come in peace. Today I want war. Try to feel my pain every time I had to strike myself in the store. No, I be on lean. Since you left, it's been codeine galore. On pretty pink cups everywhere I go. This ain't a dream.